I'm suing the federal government over a dangerous program created by the Trump administration. They gave Elon Musk's team access to millions of Americans' personal data, including yours, including mine. In this video, I'm going to explain how this illegal data grab happened, why it puts millions of us, including veterans and federal workers, at risk, and what I'm doing about it. I'm Chris Goldsmith. I served in the U.S. Army, and now I run a nonprofit that combats extremism. Today, I'm fighting to protect your privacy. Our legal argument is pretty open and shut. What's happening here is a clear violation of the Privacy Act. This affects real people: veterans, teachers, federal workers, and basically anyone who interacts with the government. Because this isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. It's purposefully destabilizing, unnecessarily dramatic, and illegal. We're filing this suit to stop the illegal and unprecedented exposure of Americans' personal data. This is a massive grab of Americans' private data across multiple agencies by people we have no reason to believe should have access to that kind of data or that they can be trusted. So what's at risk? Everything from our social security numbers to our bank info is at risk. This affects pretty much anyone who gets a tax refund, receives Social Security, has federal student loans, works for or has applied to work for the government, and anyone who's earned benefits from their service as a veteran of the U.S. military. This isn't about efficiency or just bending the rules. This so-called DOGE thing, the doggy boys, they're clearly breaking laws. The Privacy Act exists for exactly this reason: to stop unauthorized snooping by politicians and their cronies. This so-called DOGE doesn't have any legal right to access this info. They didn't get permission from a single person whose data they're accessing. They're doing exactly what these laws were designed to prevent. We've seen this before, and as a country, we were clear-eyed about the threats to the freedoms of American people when we passed the Privacy Act. The Privacy Act of 1974 wasn't created by accident. It came after Watergate. Congress specifically wanted to stop the government from building massive databases to target Americans. The DOGE committee is doing exactly what the law was designed to prevent: building political databases, targeting government employees, combining personal data across agencies, and using Americans' private info for political purposes. The government security experts whose job it is to protect this data are calling this a five-alarm fire. Treasury's own security team called this so-called DOGE the single greatest insider threat ever. You can't make this up. One of the DOGE team members were previously fired for leaking sensitive info, and now Elon Musk has him getting access to all of our data. And they're taking this private data and feeding it into insecure and unproven AI systems outside of government control. Elon's team is not even using secure or approved devices to access these systems. Elon's team is telling us exactly what they want to do. In their own words, they're openly bragging about plans to shut down government payments that they don't like. They're saying that they're going to tear down entire federal agencies. They're going to fire massive numbers of federal workers. They're going to use people's private information for their own agenda. They do not have legal authority to do any of this. It's explicitly against the Constitution and our laws. The systems that they've broken into are crucial. These are the systems that handle trillions in government payments. They store personnel files for millions of federal workers and anyone who's ever applied for a government job. They manage student loans nationwide, meaning that anyone who's even applied for federal financial aid or a loan. And they're breaking into systems that keep track of veterans' benefits. Why are they snooping on veterans? Their access and approach is haphazard and purposefully designed to cause drama and disruption, not to help us or keep our data safe. They've given system access to unvetted individuals, including at least one teenager. Meanwhile, they've locked out experienced career officials and security pros. They're bypassing normal security protocols, and they've got admin-level access without proper authorization. So here are the real-world risks. Once this data is out there, there's no getting it back. Your personal information could be used for identity theft, financial fraud, political targeting and/or retribution, and unauthorized AI analysis and storage of your most personal and sensitive information on some company's data servers. We're asking the court to take some common sense steps to stop this right away. For one, shut this down immediately. 2, get back or destroy any records that they shouldn't have. 3, put proper Privacy Act protections back in place. 4, stop them from doing this again. And 5, protect everyone's privacy rights and freedoms. Now look, let's get personal. As I said, my name's Chris Goldsmith. I run a couple nonprofits that track extremists. They're called Task Force Butler Institute and Veterans Fighting Fascism. And what we do is we train veterans to conduct open source intelligence research into domestic extremists so that we can gather evidence of criminality and then use it in a court of law to hold those people responsible. And we have a pretty good track record. We've gotten dozens of neo-Nazis arrested. We've gotten convictions for both misdemeanors and a felony. And our research has helped to facilitate multiple federal lawsuits. One just last month resulted in a $3 million judgment against a hate group that you see on this app all the time. You know, the ones wearing the Best Buy looking uniforms, covering their faces with white neck gaiters. Yeah, those guys owe someone $3 million because of the research that we do. I have already faced political retribution from other neo-Nazis because of the work that I do. And public reporting has shown that Elon Musk's team, the members of his team, they come from criminal hacking communities. Elon Musk's team are friends with people who regularly break into people's private accounts. They steal personal data, and then they use it to engage in extortion. I have spent thousands of dollars to protect myself, to protect my data. And Elon Musk and the Trump administration's recklessness with this data is putting my life at risk. Just last summer, a neo-Nazi went to jail for a hate crime for threatening my family. And there are still at least 2 open federal investigations into other neo-Nazis who threaten my life because of the work that I do. And these are exactly the type of people who Elon Musk's team hang out with online. And the Trump administration is being deliberate about this. They want racists on their team. When the Wall Street Journal just broke news about one of Elon's team members posting racist tweets like, quote, "I was racist before it was cool," end quote, not only did Elon Musk come out in his defense, but the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, went to bat for this guy and brought him back into government. So the stakes are real. They're potentially deadly. And this is not something that the administration should be doing to me or any American. So look, if you want to support this lawsuit, if you want to learn more about it, go to protectdemocracy.org. They're going to be posting news, information, and updates about this lawsuit as it progresses through the court system. And if you want to follow me and my work, be sure to check me out on Substack. I've got a new publication called On Offense with Chris Goldsmith. And there I write about news and information that's useful to you in fighting authoritarianism in real and effective ways. We've got an anti-fascist book club going on, and we're helping communities around the country form strong bonds because that's the only way to fight back against fascism. So look, if you've made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for caring, for supporting us. Do me a favor and just share this on whatever platform you're seeing it on. More Americans need to understand what's at stake today.